You are now listening to WSN, Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
In the city of dreams,
three friends
return to the plate to strike out the semester. And we have our signature lineup of segments returning with Triple Play and Snake Your Case.
and we all have three separate lists. So that leaves me with Acuna with the 40-70 season at number 1.
What was I saying before about what was my tough pickle spot?
Quarterback? No, what was it?
Tight end.
Tight end. Dude, that's everybody's
Guess who's going first as my tight end? Brock Bowers.
I knew that was...
Don't worry, we're bringing you the best interviews and what's going on this weekend in sports.
And so much more.
So grab a drink.
And some popcorn. And get ready to enjoy the show.
This is Triple Threat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wolf Sports Network's best show, Triple Threat. We are live here on a muggy but beautiful morning here in Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. Boys, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Still feeling sore from working out this week, but feeling good, man.
That's right, ladies. John works out.
Amen.
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
I feel ready.
Ready?
That's all I can say.
Yeah, we got a bunch to talk about. We're going to talk about West Georgia. We got the Super Bowl. There was some crazy stuff in the NBA that went down. We got so much to cover. But let's start with West Georgia, with the West Georgia Wolves.
And your Wolves are on the run.
So the first thing that we got to talk about today regarding West Georgia is it is opening day for our softball team.
Heck yeah.
The girls are up in, where is it? It's somewhere in North Carolina.
Are they in North Carolina? I thought they were in Florida.
They're in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, playing at the Runnin' Bulldogs Classic hosted by Gardner Webb. And let me just say, right now, we're looking like a softball school. It's the top of the third, and we're winning 10-1 against the Drexel Dragons.
Oh, we're giving them a run for their
Jason,
money.
Let's go.
How does this make you feel?
Brother, we got ball, baby. Let's go. I love it. I'm so glad sports are back. I'm so glad that the baseball season's right around the corner. I'm so glad that softball is starting. Man, I love it. And seeing some success early on, like it's been, like a lot of these teams, like our basketball team, was struggling a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
Hey, positive signs. And baseball and softball, like those are one of those sports that is like anybody can win any game. Right? Like you could have the Yankees going against the freaking 2017 Orioles and
What a pull.
Yeah.
and the Orioles, probably won some games. But anyways, I love the sport for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome here that we're giving Drexel a run for their money, 10-0. But the one thing we talked about last night on Sports Pack, we hit the transfer portal heavy, and we pulled for some big schools. I didn't know that. When I heard that last night, I got really excited. So obviously, with your first game and it being the third inning and only just being a simple 10-0, makes me just really excited. And it's 11-0.
No, 10-1.
Oh, 10-1.
Oh. Give Drexel credit where credit's due.
Okay, whatever. Well, 10-0 in my mind.
Yeah.
But still, makes me really excited and just very happy to see that start.
Yeah. We got some girls from big schools, App State, Georgia Southern. There were some other ones. So this team, as of now, it's looking really good, and it is now 12-1. Something happened. Yeah,
Touch them all time.
Double to right center. We got 2 runners scoring. So yeah.
So the bats are hot, is what I'm hearing.
Bats are hot, and they have another game today against Gardner Webb. So I guess it's somewhat of a doubleheader. That one will be at 3:00. So tune into that if you can. But in other news, we had a signing day, National Signing Day ceremony on Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. So, John, why don't you fill us in on that?
Yeah, so National Signing Day just happened, and obviously we brought in a haul of transfers. Brought in a lot of offensive linemen. That was the huge focus this offseason, but we have guys coming in from Nebraska, Furman, Bowling Green, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Marshall, Tennessee Tech. You bring in a lot of guys.
A couple of power schools in there.
Yeah, exactly, a couple of
That's
power
big.
schools,
some big boys.
especially in Nebraska. That's huge.
Yeah, we got one of those corn boys.
And then we got the corn fed.
Yeah.
But the one thing is they brought in a lot of offensive linemen, and from my source, I was told we have 20 offensive linemen on the roster. So that means we could have 4 rotating offensive lines if we wanted to.
That's crazy.
That wouldn't be the smartest thing
That
to
would
do.
not be the smartest thing to do.
But hey, you know what? Having 4, rotating possible lines, some big, beefy boys down in the trenches. Oh, it makes me happy. It makes me feel really good about next year.
Oh, yeah. Depth is always a good thing. Yeah. You can't ever complain about depth. Basketball. As far as basketball goes, we got a basketball game this Saturday. Men play. The men had a game, was it Wednesday?
It was Wednesday.
Yes.
And man, the best way I can describe this men's basketball team is
Makes me mad.
unpredictable. It's like
Very unpredictable.
It's like your high school crush in the cafeteria when you're sitting down eating your meal by yourself, and she just happens to come and sit in front of you and happens to start having a conversation with you. You start getting butterflies and you think it's all great. And then the soldier cowboy, leader of the football team walks by and she said, "Oh," and then leaves you in the fourth quarter of lunch.
the fourth quarter of lunch.
That's how this basketball team makes me feel. They give you hope. They build you up. And then they just tear you down.
That's how I felt exactly Wednesday. I mean, the fact that we were beating these guys, we're playing great ball, and then come that second half. Hold on. What's his name?
Yeah,
no, number 41, Jacob O. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. Like we said last night, no one can pronounce his last name, even though he's the leading scorer in the A-Sun. He turned it on, and it really just the game did not go the way it was supposed to, and that's why we sit 4-20 right now.
Yeah, Big O went out there and balled.
Yeah, Big O is out there balling.
But the one thing you have to look at, I wasn't at the game, but I heard that there were some missed calls at the end on both sides.
Yeah.
The refs were kind of just letting the boys play. But something that you really need to look at is West Georgia went into the first half guns blazing. They were shooting 58% from the field. I mean, they were having themselves a day. Go to the second half, they were shooting 32% from the field. They went 18 for 31 in the first half and then 10 for 31 in the second half, while Lipscomb did basically the opposite. They went 44% to 51%. They came out in the second half ready to play, and that's why they won that game. And that's something that our men's team is really going to have to work on if they want to have more than 4 wins this season, is to really be able to play effective, efficient basketball in the first half. But the men's team is not the only basketball team we have playing right now.
No, it is not.
Jason, how's this women's team doing so far?
To say that, it's
This isn't no lunch crush, is it now?
No, not at all. What's the record of the women's team? I know it's not a good team. Yeah.
They're 8-14.
Sounds much better.
So, to say they're having a good season would be an overstatement, but
Right.
to say that they're having a disappointing season you cannot say that. They are playing well. I see what they've lost their last 3 games.
Yes, 3-game losing streak.
So, which includes a game at home. They're currently on the road. They don't come back home until they face Austin P, a conference game. So.
Actually, they play Queens tomorrow.
They do.
Yeah.
They play at Queens tomorrow, which is in Charlotte, and then Wednesday it's Austin P, Saturday North Alabama, and then next Thursday Stetson.
So I mean that'll be interesting, but I think a lot of the same problems that we're seeing with the men's team, the women are also having, just not as often, right?
Yeah, and not quite as bad.
And not quite as bad. No, although they have lost a couple big ones. I think their last loss was
92-75.
Yeah, so I mean, it happens. Again, this is the first season of Division I. Can't even really hate on the men so much. I know it might sound like we're harping on them so bad, but
and you think about, there's a couple missing pieces. I mean, that team is built off lots of transfers. Same thing with this team, except this team's just a little bit more bonded and meshed together, is what you can say.
Yeah, the women's team's just a couple of years ahead of the men's team. There's some transfers, but there's also some people that have been there for a while. The men's team has 3 players that have really been there.
And I feel like
they had 3 returners this year.
I think 4. Yeah,
3 or 4.
I think 3 or 4
something like
returners.
that number.
Either way, you need more than that to be a great team.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all we got for West Georgia sports right there. So it's time to go to Triple Play.
It's time for Triple Play.
There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. A triple play.
Man, I love this segment. This is one fun segment. Always get to chat with y'all about about something. So, Jason, I'm going to kick it to you this time.
Oh, my goodness. Let's go.
Back to
What?
the old ways.
Is our triple play this week?
So, our triple play for the week is going to be the worst or disappointing Super Bowl losses. Okay, so here's the teams. That might not have been the best explanation, but
The toughest losses.
The Falcons, Patriots. You got to, as 3 Falcons fans at the table.
Yeah.
The Four Falls of Buffalo.
We're counting
in
that
the-
as one.
Yeah, in the 80s, 90s, the 90s. So that's disappointing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the Legion of Boom versus Peyton Manning's all-time offense in the 2014 Super Bowl. So,
Johnny
with that being
boy.
said,
Yeah.
John.
Sorry, I'm just looking at this list and just lots of memories are coming back. Not good ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I haven't even ordered this myself, so this is like...
Nobody
No,
has
now.
good
I
memories.
mean, no one has good memories. All right, cool. So I guess at my number 3 spot, I'm gonna put the Legion of Boom, and you know, mollywhopping old Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And then number 2, I think I'm gonna put the Falcons Patriots, and number 1, the Four Falls of Buffalo. I like the way you put that, Four Falls of Buffalo. That's
Yeah.
that's my list right there.
Definitely didn't get that from the 30 for 30 they did on it a few years ago. But yeah, John, you are one smart cookie because I have the exact same list.
You're kidding me.
I have the Legion of Boom at 3, which is kind of crazy because that just showed, I mean, who wins championships? You had the best offense in NFL history.
I still have a
Versus-
pulse. I still have a pulse here because I can't believe we have the
defense.
same list again.
I know, one of the best defenses we have seen in a long time, and that defense took it. They took it away. Number 2, I gotta go Falcons Patriots. Now that might be number 1, almost in
That's
my heart.
in my heart.
That hurt, but it was a one and done thing. That was 1 year. It was over after it happened. I didn't have to sit through 4 straight years of watching my team go to the Super Bowl and lose the Super Bowl over and over. I don't think I could handle that. So I'm going the Four Falls of Buffalo at number 1.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Jason.
Slight tweak.
Slight
tweakage. I'm going to go with, and don't even you dare, John, call the bias card, okay?
What?
We're going to go with the Legion of Boom at number 3, the Four Falls of Buffalo at number 4, and the Falcons Patriots at number 1.
Bias. I'm just
Nope.
joking. I'm
Bias,
joking.
bias,
I'm
bias,
joking.
bias,
I'm
bias.
just joking.
All right. So, I guess this is the odd man out.
Explain yourself.
As the odd man out, I'll explain the 1-2. We can talk about the Legion of Boom and whatever. So the reason for the Falcons being the most disappointing Super Bowl loss for a franchise, for a team of all time, is the fact Buffalo and the Falcons, they share one similar thing in common. Neither of them have won a single Super Bowl. Neither one of them. Okay, the Falcons had a shot against the Broncos. Funny enough, it was the Broncos, and they lost.
Way back
I
when.
think we got our butts beat that game.
Yeah,
Close,
that
but
wasn't
then
even a
Elway
game.
went nuts.
Yeah.
I personally, this might just be me personally, I would rather see my team have so much success as to be able to get to the Super Bowl and just fall short. That's exhilarating. It's fun. It sucks, right? I can see and I can know as somebody who's has had our team in the Super Bowl and seen them lose, knowing they have never won one, right? I can see how that sucks. But I would much rather see my team have dominance, have such utter dominance to get to the Super Bowl than to get to the Super Bowl for the first time in 25 years. Think that you're going to win it the whole entire way.
Then Arthur
and
Blank
then
walks on
blow
the
the
sideline.
biggest lead of all time in the Super Bowl. And then not be able to even get back close again for what probably will be another 25 years.
Well, when was the last time
we
Buffalo
can't
was in the
figure out.
Super Bowl?
And that's the other thing. I understand that they also, but you're seeing that they're having the success. They're getting close again, right? Maybe that's just Buffalo's curse. Okay,
Buffalo is really good at getting close, but now they can't get past Mahomes.
The Falcons can hardly even get there, and when they do get there, they go. And they're just, like, they're out of there. So for me personally, I would rather see that success and continue to get close than to get there for the first time ever, seemingly, and then just throw it away in that way.
I just don't know,
There was a lot of
man.
luck. That was so unlucky, too. That takes a lot of skill. It was very skillful the way that they went up, and they didn't, like, all these games weren't even close that they lost. No, this was pure luck in a lot of ways by the Patriots. It was a lot of bad play by the Falcons, don't get me wrong. But there was a lot of luck by the Patriots to win that game.
You need so much more than a lot of luck to pull that comeback off.
Imagine going to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row,
Right.
and you think, this year's our year, this year's our year, this year's our year, this year's our year. You're going to say that for those 4 years.
They lost by game-winning field goals.
They lost, yeah. Like, if you look at the scores here, 19 to 20, 24 to 37, 17 to 52, and then
that's what
13
I'm
to
saying.
30. But you think you can win those? That's 4 years of heartbreak. That is one thing. That's the thing. How can you four straight years and you yet have heartbreak every single time? Because I guarantee there's those delusional fans that still say this year's our year.
Look, every team
Yeah, they live in
says
Dallas,
this year's
bro.
our year.
I know that.
Every team says this year is our year. Every team says that. Every team has the hope that this year is our
I don't know
year.
anybody in Jacksonville said that.
Every
Yeah.
team that gets into the playoffs
Okay.
every year says this year's our year. Anything's possible. This can happen. It's going to happen. Only one team at the end of the day, at every season, says this was a fantastic season. Really. Like, yeah, you know, you say, like, yeah, this was a good season on paper, but you have that hole on the inside, right? And, man, the Falcons have just... I feel like that hole is a little bit bigger and a little bit deeper than what the Bills' hole is.
Yeah, I'm gonna get us. I don't see that. I mean, I think
Yeah, I don't see it. I understand. I can understand what you're saying, but I don't see it.
4 straight Super Bowl losses, and yes, we had the biggest choke job of all time. Nobody's ever really come close to that. You can't really put that in it. It stands alone. But
It just hurts my heart.
to watch your team, like, you know, if the Falcons win this, you could go, how does it affect Matt Ryan's legacy?
Exactly.
Right? Is he a surefire Hall of Famer? Could the Falcons go back to that position? But you look at Buffalo, if they win 2 of those Super Bowls, even 1 of those Super Bowls, the trajectory of that franchise, that could change. Jim Kelly's legacy could change. There's a whole lot that could change. And I think that it's just the Falcons did it once, and they can't go back. Buffalo did it 4 straight times. They kept going back.
You would think out of all of those, that 4 years, you think you would win one. You think
You just
you
have to
absolutely
win one.
would.
But I also, you know, we're talking a lot about Buffalo and Atlanta. I really want to talk about the Legion of Boom
I will
and
say,
this
we
Peyton
need to
Manning
touch on
Super Bowl,
that.
because I know it made it at 3rd in all of our lists because it had some very, very tough competition. But this Super Bowl loss for the Broncos is brutal.
That is a pretty brutal loss.
It is
Was it
brutal.
48
You want to
to
talk
8?
about dominance?
What was the score to that Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't even know.
It was like, 48-8 or
It was-
something along those lines?
It was brutal.
47-8, something like that. It was not even close. In fact, Seattle scored on... They scored they scored on the first 7 drives, or they scored on 7
43-8.
drives. They scored on 7 drives unanswered.
Yeah.
Okay. And the previous record for any Super Bowl was 4.
Yeah.
They almost doubled that. The score at one point was what, 33-0 or 35-0?
Something like that. Well, I remember
Something
the
like
first.
that.
I remember the first play vividly of that game.
Safety.
Peyton Manning walking to center, making the adjustment, snaps the ball, goes flying over his head. No Sean Marino lands on it in the end zone. It's crazy. And it was 43-8.
Yeah, and it's not just like Seattle's offense did amazing. You know how good your defense has to be to hold, yet again, the greatest offense of all time. One of the best, if not the best season a quarterback has ever had, with Demaryius Thomas, Julius Sanders, like all of these guys on that team, to then just make them hit a brick wall. Like the Legion of Boom. I mean, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor,
Bam Bam Cam, baby.
dude, Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irwin, all of those guys were so good. And just to see a defense like that, in my opinion, the best uniforms in the NFL,
Probably, yeah.
it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, all these offensive coordinators can continue to say for as long as they want that offense wins championships. Offense puts the points on the
I
board.
disagree.
Yeah,
But I don't know how you logically, especially when you see this is like the pinnacle, like this is the poster child of offense versus defense, and which one comes out on top.
Defense.
And there is no more
Big
dramatic
time.
of an example of what the truth of that answer is.
Well, yeah, and also at the same time, that was Dan Quinn as the DC for the Seahawks, and
What
he
a
cracked
guy, dude.
Omaha.
That's
Nobody
what-
had cracked
that's what-
Omaha until Dan Quinn
Dude.
licked his fingers, said, I got you.
Like Dan Quinn, like I love Dan Quinn. I loved him at the
What a
in
guy.
Atlanta. I love him in Washington. But to just think, who was the mastermind behind the Legion of Boom? It was Dan
flippin'
Quinn. Like that's just amazing. Just adds to the Legion of Boom lore.
Dude, just like gives me chills. Shout out
It
to
does.
him. I was rooting for him yesterday to win Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Deservedly so. Went to O'Brien.
O'Connell.
Oh, sorry.
O'Connell.
O'Connell,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kevin
O'Connell, O'Bonnell, whatever. But no, it definitely was deserved. But I love me some Dan Quinn.
Yeah, for real, for real. So that's all we got for Triple Play. I think that was a great segment. Love to talk about the Super Bowl. Don't really love to talk about Super Bowl losses, but we
yeah.
were still able to have a good time. So we are going to take a quick break. We will be back in just a few minutes.
It's time. To keep listening to Triple Threat on Wolf Sports Network.
Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. Woohoo! So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through a WIT program right now. Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports
I'm feeling
Back.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
Sports fans, are you looking for a show where you can see other sports fans sharing in your misery and excitement? Then Sports Out of Pocket is for you, because we're fans too, and we experience our highs
Bertigine is not a safety. He's just a corner who will lock down your number one.
and our lows.
Trayshawn Ward. Screw you, buddy. You were on our team last year, and you gave us no mercy, okay?
So join us every Wednesday at 5 to cheer and boo along with us, only on Wolf Sports Network.
The despair seems endless, like the oceans in front of me. No matter how far you swim, there seems to be no other option than to drown in the unhappiness and self-pity. Few and far between are the moments of clarity and even joy. Yet, like a beast in the wilderness, it always seems to find me. However, there is one thing that brings me joy, unmatched by anything else. This show called Sports Back, right? It comes on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Wolf Sports Network. It's next level.
Wolf Sports Network is going to have you covered with content for every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Sports Pack is bringing you all the news in the sports world today on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Sports Out of Pocket is bringing you sports commentary with a comedic twist on Wednesdays at 5. And sit back and relax and grab your favorite snack, because Triple Threat is bringing you the chill content on Fridays at 11. And we have a brand new show coming to Wolf Sports Network, The Playbook, where they talk about everything going on in the college sports world on Tuesdays at 6. So make sure you're tuning in Monday through Friday for all the content Wolf Sports Network is bringing you this semester.
It's time. To snake your case. Fellas, it's time for arguably our
Snake?
best, definitely my second favorite segment on this show. Wonder what the first one could be. You'll have to keep listening to
Keep guessing.
just to see that. But it's time for Snake Your Case, and we picked one heck of a topic this week. We're
pulled it
going
out
to
of the
be
bag.
going over the best Super Bowl commercials. And now, John, we're going to let you pick the order this week because your list may not have been the greatest thing we've ever seen,
But there was one topic that reigned superior.
but you did
Reign supreme.
go crazy with one topic. Lightning McQueen, what if he signed with Dynaco?
and the people agreed.
And the people did
agreed.
agree.
I still disagree. I will die on that hill. Stay with your roots.
Hey, listen.
Anyways.
I stand with Jason on that
You know
one.
what? Hey, I took the first one of the season. I'm happy. Okay?
Yes,
I'm
but-
very happy.
But this means that for the first time in a long time, John, what is our order?
Our order, simple as you are going first.
Sounds good, Bob?
I'm going second. You are going the third.
Thank you.
So, Shader, I just want to go ahead and hear it. What we got?
So the first Super Bowl commercial that I'm going to pick is one that I quote all the time, and I think a lot of people quote all the time, and they don't ever realize it's a Super Bowl commercial. Okay. But I'm going to go with the Budweiser. What's up?
And I think that we are going to go ahead and play it for you so you can see it. We will not be showing the audio, and we are not affiliated or sponsored by Budweiser in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, this is the commercial. You want to just break it down? What's going on?
I mean, it's just Bud's chilling on the phone, asking him, hey, what are you doing?
What you doing? You know, it's a big game, right?
Just chilling with a bud. That's about it. And then his buddy walks in and goes, what's up? And the rest is history, because that's just about the rest of the commercial.
Because next thing you can call your friend and go,
what's up? What's up? Look, that's what they're doing.
But yeah, it's just a really, really fun commercial to quote. Love watching it. It's made its way around. It's in movies. It's in just about everything.
It's been altered so much throughout it. It's awesome.
Wasn't it in like Scary Movie something?
Yes, Scary Movie. Yes, they do. They pick up the phone. What's up?
What's up? Just one fun commercial to quote. So I had to take it number one. I know there are so many more commercials.
There's a plethora. Let's put it that way.
But had to go with what's up as number one.
John?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It does.
You are second, John.
It does go to me. You know where I could perhaps be going?
Where could you be going?
I could be going to Disney World.
We're going to Disney World.
Let's make this clear as well. Again, we don't own any rights. We don't pertain. Like this is not our stuff. Yes. Whatever Jason said the first time, repeat it for every single one. You know.
We will not be playing the audio, and we are not sponsored or affiliated with the content of this commercial in any way, shape, or form.
Beautiful, but
yes, good at that.
Yes, but obviously this is where it started. Went up to the camera, and where's he going? Ask him, where are you going? Where are you going?
Where are you going, John?
Where are you going?
We're going to Disney World.
And now it's become a huge contract. And actually, so basically, every time, it goes, whoever wins the Super Bowl, the two quarterbacks are already pre-contracted to say to the camera, I'm going to Disney World. And they get all expenses, or their week paid. They get to go to Disney World for a whole week. They don't have to pay a dime or anything.
You know how much money that saves them? I know that they make enough money to pay for those vacations, but that saves a whole lot of money.
The Chiefs ought to have some steak and some Disney at this point.
They're
going to Disney.
Steak. You're having
more
than
the annual thing.
Right.
Look, you bring the kids, have a fun time, all that. Now, Jason.
All right. Listen, when this Super Bowl commercial got played, it was instantly one of my favorites. Okay? It is the Eli Manning and the Odell Beckham I've had the time of my life commercial. So, do we have it, John?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do. It's
all right.
Up on
so,
the
again, we will play no audio, and we are not sponsored by the NFL in any way, shape, or form. We are not getting any money by the NFL. It would be so great to have Eli and Odell here. Oh, I've had the time of my life.
Sing it, brother.
I owe it all to you. Oh, then they start dancing. Look at how romantic that is. Dude, this commercial cracks me up. I saw this playing, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite commercials of all time. And it just so happened to be playing in the Super Bowl. Also, I love it. Look at this.
Think about it.
He's about to shake his hair.
This was Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, and this is Odell Beckham's prime, dude. This is one-handed.
Was that Landon Collins back there too, bro?
You're telling me man, the old Odell. I miss him. I will say that.
This is a supreme duo, and look at this. Oh, look, he's calling him in, and then it goes. I've had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
Oh, Jason.
How beautiful. I mean, how is that not, that just gives me
How can you not be romantic about football?
I mean, literally. That is prime stuff right there. I love that commercial.
Mr. Barker.
That is my number one.
How wonderful. And guess what?
What's your number two?
It's back to you.
It's right back to you.
So you're gonna see a little theme. All right, we're not gonna play any more commercials, by the way. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was fun. That was fun for us. I enjoyed the heck out of that.
A little experiment right there.
Yeah, a little something. So let us know in the chat what y'all thought about that, by the way. Really want to know. Just trying something new. So. But
All
sorry,
right.
go ahead, Jason.
So you're going to see a little theme with my Super Bowl commercials and the ones that really resonate with me. The Super Bowl commercials that resonate with me are the ones that use the NFL players themselves as the commercials. This one also promoted the NFL itself for the 100-year anniversary for
I wanted that one
the
so bad.
100-year anniversary commercial of the NFL. All the players, you got to see Marshawn Lynch actually run the ball for something that mattered. So,
In the Super Bowl?
Marshawn Lynch got to run the football in the Super Bowl. So you
would've
got your
thought?
wish and your dreams in that commercial. It is an elite commercial. It's one of those that, like, we don't have to play it on the video screen, and y'all all know exactly what it looks like, what's going on. Party crashers, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's back to me.
Yes,
and
sir.
so, obviously, this one is here with a very famous brand, one perhaps of Coca-Cola. Back in the 80s. Hey, kid, catch.
Dude,
Mean
y'all are taking mine,
Joe Green. I think it's awesome. You think about it. It's just a simple little concept. Hey, kid, catch. And you're catching the Coke. You crack open a nice cold Coca-Cola around the Super Bowl, and you just couldn't be mad about that. And really,
Right.
it's just an awesome experience. So,
Mean Joe
hey,
Green,
kid.
not so mean.
Yeah, he's not so mean after all.
He's not so
but just,
mean
just,
after
you know,
all.
catch it, all right?
All right. Well, John, I'm thankful that both of you didn't pick this one.
I think I know
Because
exactly what you're taking.
I will say that this one might be the weirdest Super Bowl commercial we've ever seen.
I know what it is. I know it.
Give me Puppy Monkey Baby, bro.
Yep.
I don't know how
Puppy
y'all have
Monkey Baby?
Puppy Monkey
Yeah,
Baby.
the Mountain Dew commercial.
Puppy Monkey Baby.
Puppy Monkey Baby.
Puppy Monkey Baby.
Puppy Monkey
You don't know
Baby.
that one?
No, you don't know that.
That's not clicking in my head.
I don't know how you don't know Puppy Monkey Baby. That's
Yeah,
all we
dude.
talked about in like 6th grade after that Super Bowl.
It was
Mountain
arguably one
Dew.
of their best, like their most successful commercial they'd ever made, and they ran it for months on end, and it was just huge because everyone talked about it. It was just a hit. It was just so strange and random. I get
Exactly.
that is really good. And now it's back to me.
No, it's not.
It's not. Oh
It
my
is
gosh.
me. I get
I'm brain
You trying to
farting.
skip over me, man?
Maybe.
Schrader said no.
You took-
I'm gonna
Oh,
cause a
maybe.
ruckus. But let's see here. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna take Brandon Dyer. He's gonna help me out in the chat.
No!
Let's see what we got from
He's
Mr.
gonna help me out in
No!
the chat. I was gonna pick this
Brandon!
one, but I'm gonna have to go with
That's 2 weeks in a row. now. You
Budweiser
got
Yes.
chat.
Pony. Did I win last week? No.
No,
I'm gonna
true.
go with the Budweiser ponies, the Clydesdale horses, specifically the one in 1996, the extra point when the horse kicks the extra point and the cowboy goes, well, they usually go for 2, as he grabs 2 beers instead of 1. So I'm gonna go with the Budweiser ponies.
Okay.
For my second pick.
Buzzwire Ponies.
Bro, sign him to a
Okay.
contract, bro.
I'm about to say.
Dude, for real,
you-
Budweiser's carrying right now.
Budweiser, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the marketing team needs to just look at this guy right here and say, yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
we
look at the
can-
guy that
there
doesn't
might,
drink.
there's always teams that are looking for
Hey,
kickers.
they can join the Drink Responsibly campaign.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
always teams looking for kickers. You got, the Falcons might be looking for a kicker before too long. I love Koo, but, we've been transitioned. The Ravens might be looking for a kicker. The Broncos, I mean, the list goes on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, obviously, there's one that I was thinking about, but then I realized it got banned from the Super Bowl after playing it. So
Oh,
we
boy.
are not going with that. We're not going with the wild poll like a Lightning McQueen. But I'm just gonna go with this one. It's more recent, I will say. And it is, where is it? I had it up here just a second ago. Give me 1 second. Oh, Michael Bublé versus Bubbly.
Let's go.
That's a good one.
It's just something that's like funny to me. I've always remembered that one.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude, that's
no,
funny.
it's Bublé. No, Bubbly. Bublé.
Yeah.
Bubbly. Bublé. Bubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good pull. I'm more excited that y'all didn't pick one of mine, so I didn't have to like go scream to pick like some.
I know,
some
that's what
random.
y'all did to me, man.
You didn't scream
Is
like
that
it was
what you're
Brock
scrambling
Bowers.
doing right now?
Dude, I was
You're
gonna-
so locked in, bro.
I was gonna go Hey Kid Catch and the NFL 100 for like my 2 and 3.
Yeah,
and
you
y'all
did
just
that.
went
Come
boom
on
boom,
now.
and I was like,
Come
"Ah."
on, man.
I didn't know what to do. I had to go to Brandon for help, but he's always there for me.
Aw,
Thank-
shout
yeah.
out to Brandon Dyer.
Thank you, Mr. Dyer.
All right, so to round out my list, I'm gonna go with the First Date Hyundai commercial with Kevin Hart, where it's Kevin Hart with his daughter, and he said, hey, take my new car. And the boyfriend takes his car, and then Kevin Hart just follows him around wherever they go. He follows them to the movies, follows them to the arcade. The funny thing about that is, first of all, it's Kevin Hart, and he's hilarious. Second of all, he has daughters, and I can truly see him doing that, actually,
that
in
seems like
real
a Kevin
life.
Hart thing.
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
a very Kevin Hart-esque thing.
So I think that's hilarious because Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kevin Hart's funny. Anyways, my last one, I'm going to go with the Tide ad in 2018.
Oh, you son of a biscuit.
Yeah, the Tide
Scared
ad.
me there. No, we're good. Keep going.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's playing on a parody of all these, like,
It's just a
traditional,
Tide
like,
ad.
Super Bowl commercials. Like, this isn't no, Budweiser ad. This is no Coke ad. This
just
is
a
no
Tide ad.
mattress ad. It's Tide. It's Tide. And when you really think about it, every commercial can be a Tide commercial. Because if those clothes are clean and sparkly, it's because it's
It's a Tide.
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 So,
I was watching
yeah.
that one around. I was like, I'll have this one just in case. But you
That's
took
pretty-
it. That was mine. I'm a little mad. So I'm gonna go.
He's an angry elf.
Oh yes, I'm an angry elf. I'm gonna go with Betty White for Snickers.
All right.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
had to get Betty White in there. I don't know too much about it, but I watched it earlier and it was just funny.
Betty White's a goat,
She
okay?
says,
That's how you win
she
the
says 2 lines and she just kills it. As simple
That-
as that. And
Yeah.
it's a Snickers ad.
That's
Can't-
how you win the hearts of the people.
Look, you're
is
not you when
pick
you're
them.
hungry, right? You're not you when you're hungry. Have yourself Snickers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was that a
For
Super
real.
Bowl ad? Because
no,
I
it's just
saw
their
it.
slogan. The
No,
Betty
no,
White, yes.
Betty White
Okay,
one
yeah,
was,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They just play on more than just the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. That's when they're released. So that leaves me as the last pick. And I'm going to go with one that I didn't even realize, like, this was a Super Bowl commercial because of how much I have seen it. But I'm going to go with the Volkswagen The Force episode.
I thought about that.
With the
I
little
thought about
kid
that.
in the Darth Vader costume walking, he's outside, his dad's standing behind him, and his kid goes like this at the car, and he beeps it, and the kid goes, "Wait, I have the Force." So it's just a fun commercial. It's a nostalgic commercial.
Yeah.
So I had to put that one at number 4.
See, I thought about that one, but I was like, Betty White. Betty White sits there. I think we all have a great list here. Why don't you give us
Yeah.
a recap?
Yeah, a recap. Oh, yeah, let me do that. Let me go over the list. So I'm going to go first with Jason. Jason's first one was Eli and Odell in the little dancing one. We got a little number from Jason, too. We got the NFL 100, Kevin Hart's first date, and then it's just a Tide ad.
It's just Tide.
And then mine, I picked the What's Up? Puppy Monkey Baby, the Budweiser Clydesdale horses, and the Volkswagen Force.
Yes, sir.
And then John.
Yep.
John's going to Disney World. Hey Kid Catch. Bublé versus Bubbly. And Betty White Snickers.
Yes, sir.
So those were our Snake Your Case list. Do y'all have any honorable mentions? Because I have one that I think we need to talk about. It was just way before our time.
Bro, I think that just like in general, like
There's so
companies that do good Super Bowl commercials is Doritos.
Yes.
Like just in general.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
there was the free Doritos ad, and then there's the one that's banned from just a lot of things. So, that one's cheese. It's that one.
Yeah. There's one Doritos that I love that I probably should have picked, except I'm just remembering about it, is the free Doritos.
That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah. Free Doritos. I was definitely listening. Yeah, free Doritos. But probably the most recognized or viewed as the greatest commercial of all time was in 1984
Apple?
with Apple's 1984 when they announced the Mac or the Macintosh, and they kind of played a spin off of the novel 1984. So I think that was a cool
gosh.
one that we could have picked.
I thought about putting
that
Brain
one
farts,
was
people.
again just before our time. Our parents and
just
our
before our time.
our
But yet I
parents
did Hey
and
Kid
especially
Catch
our grandparents.
way before our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bro, I know it's said every single year, but why can companies not make bomb commercials like these year round?
Because you just make more in the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, they just want people to watch the Super Bowl.
They want people to watch commercial.
Yeah.
They want people to watch commercials. It's a big ad thing, and dude, they're so expensive nowadays.
It's like $8 million, I think, for a commercial.
They
Yeah,
pay
it's a
they
lot.
pay a pretty penny for a commercial. But that is all the time we have for Snake Your Case. I think that was a pretty good Snake Your Case. Love to talk about the Super Bowl as it is Super Bowl week. So, we will be going to a quick break, and we will be back in a few minutes.
You are listening to Triple Threat here on Wolf Sports Network. Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. Woohoo! So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through a WIT program right now.
Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports
I'm feeling
Pack.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
It's a brand new season, and you know what that means. A brand new series.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Mark my words, by the end of his career, Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones.
Jackson Cook.
New short series, exclusively on Wolf Sports Network YouTube.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Make sure to like and follow on all socials for more content.
You know who it is. It's Carly. And I have one last semester. Colorado State just announced that they will be joining the Pac-12 along with a bunch of other Mountain West teams. I have the absolute honor to sideline report on ESPN
Yes,
Plus.
sir.
Florida State is a fraud and has always been a fraud. Let's make it a good one. Tune into Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Wolf Sports Network is going to have you covered with content for every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Sports Pack is bringing you all the news in the sports world today on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Sports Out of Pocket is bringing you sports commentary with a comedic twist on Wednesdays at 5. And sit back and relax and grab your favorite snack because Triple Threat is bringing you the chill content on Fridays at 11. And we have a brand new show coming to Wolf Sports Network, The Playbook, where they talk about everything going on in the college sports world on Tuesdays at 6. So make sure you're tuning in Monday through Friday for all the content Wolf Sports Network is bringing you this semester.
This weekend in sports. Now it's time for my favorite segment on this show, This Weekend in Sports, with the best stager at Wolf Sports Network, and it will never be topped. That needs to be said every single time.
Is it your favorite segment, or is it your favorite stager?
Oh, it's my favorite segment. It's everything.
Also, it's one of the best stages we've ever made.
Just This Weekend in Sports means everything.
Come on, Jason.
It's the heartbeat of this show now.
Because you know what's going on this weekend.
Anyway, we have a pretty big weekend in sports, obviously highlighted by the Super Bowl or the big game. I don't know if we're allowed to call it the Super Bowl anymore. I don't know how those copyright things work. And we will get to that at the end of the show. There were the NFL honors last night, but we got to talk about something that happened a couple of days ago and yesterday, the NBA trade deadline.
Yes, sir.
This is viewed as probably the biggest NBA trade deadline of all time. There were so many moves that were made and moves that almost got made. It was said that Kevin Durant, there were 12 teams to inquire about Kevin Durant on deadline day, and he didn't get moved. He stayed in Phoenix. But John,
yes,
as a Hawks fan, I need to know how you're feeling about this mediocre franchise that is really just the poster child for mediocrity. I don't know a better way to put it. How they handled the trade deadline. What's the temperature over at what should be Phillips Arena like right now?
I mean, I'm just at a loss for words. It's like I feel like
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, we traded away DeAndre Hunter, who's been playing very well for us, and it's like we paid him a boatload of money. We traded away Bogdanovich, which actually I'm really glad we traded him away. He is the most when you think mid. And you're in a starting lineup in the NBA.
Hawks.
Other than that, I'm so glad we got rid of Bogdanovich. I've never been a fan of him. I think he's so mediocre. So really glad. But then you also throw in the guys that came in from
the trades. The guys that you got.
I don't even know the names off the top of my head. At this point, we're cleaning house. We're putting in new things. We're just ditching everything we've done.
Florida State legend.
Okay.
And Trae Young might not even be a Hawk next year.
Yeah, dude. I have strong feelings about that.
I don't want to hear that. I'm a little mad, a little happy, I guess, but really mad overall. Some of these trades don't make sense, but I guess we're starting from a fresh start, cleaning house. So
yeah, I mean, it was a big deadline for, I guess, all of our teams, assuming that Jason is a Hawks fan.
I would think.
I mean, Jason by default is a Hawks fan.
You don't watch much basketball.
Yeah, I'm not,
it was a big deadline, and I think the Hawks, the big thing you got to look at, and I was listening to 92.9 The Game this morning, and they were putting it into perspective, is what Jason just said. what's Trae Young's future in Atlanta like? Because
Nothing.
in my opinion, I think Trae Young, if he doesn't see eye to eye with this GM, he's just going to pull a Myles Garrett at the end of the season. Because there's no reason he needs to be in Atlanta. He's wasting his career in Atlanta. He's doing nothing but go 41-41, 40-42.
I mean, he's only been to the Eastern Conference Finals once.
Yeah, and it was a one-man show.
It was basically a Cinderella run.
Yeah, it was a Cinderella run. This franchise has done nothing really for Trae Young except for not give him the opportunity to win.
And the thing is, like, he's not even in a place where he's able to get enough publicity or enough love to get the fan vote to be able to go to the All-Star game. Like, that's crazy.
So funny.
Bring the twins in from Sports
Dude,
Out of
they
Pocket,
will
and they
crash
will
out.
tell you each and every detail to make sure Trey's an All-Star.
He, at the end of the day, like, the All-Star voting doesn't need to be changed in the way that it gets decided, right? You know, fan voting, like, I think that's all great stuff. But Trae Young, he deserves better, like you said.
Yeah.
He deserves
He doesn't
to go to
deserve
the
what the
All-Star
Hawks are
game.
giving him.
No, he deserves to be able to get enough of a fan vote to be able to go play with the best basketball players in the NBA like he is. So, like, for that reason, you know, it would crush me to see Trae Young go, but it's like, you know, it's one of those breakups where you got to be like, you know, this is gonna be what's better for you, and that's what I care about. As long as you're better, that's all that matters.
I mean, you're gonna have to start fresh and completely, you know, go back to. I mean, at that point, you scrap your franchise dude and we're back to ground zero. But I know over in Miami, Schrader, you know,
sir, I was about to get there.
You guys did a little something, didn't y'all?
We did do a little something. We traded my favorite player on the Heat, Jimmy Butler. And I'm not going to lie, I'm torn, you know, because Jimmy Butler, he was such a good player for the Heat. He was what the Heat say they are. He was Heat culture. He was the personification of our franchise. He took our teams that really, I mean, some of them were YMCA teams, and he would take them to the finals, right? We had a bunch of undrafted guys that Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, they would go to the finals.
I love Bam Adebayo.
Dude, he's so good. But, like, the moments that Jimmy had, that three-pointer he had against Milwaukee, to be the 8th seed, to beat the 1 seed, to say, this is my house, take that 8 seed all the way to the finals.
Unfortunately,
to lose. He lost twice in the finals, but he did so much for the city, so
but
definitely.
Now he's just toxic, so it's kind of good you got rid of him.
He kind of just got to the point where he thinks he's worth this much money, and our organization says, no.
Get
So
out of here.
we shipped him off, and he got that money in Golden State, and we got a good return. We got Andrew Wiggins, we got Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, and a first-round pick. So I say that we did pretty well for that trade. But aside from the NBA, last night, we got the NFL honors, and to be honest, this was the first time in my life that I have sat down and watched the NFL honors. I still don't know how to feel about it. There was so much going on in that award show.
Dude, look, some people
Jelly Roll suited up, man.
Jelly Roll and Snoop Dogg suited up is the
so funny.
Dude, put Jelly Roll at nose tackle for the Titans.
I'm saying,
I swear their run defense gets that much better.
He would improve that. He would improve that run defense or that O-line. He would improve just about any position you put him at for the Titans. But what I really want to get into, I got 2 questions, and the first one being, how do y'all feel about Josh Allen getting the MVP over Lamar Jackson?
You know what? I feel good about it. I mean, like, I'm not, like, mad about it. I would have liked to see Lamar have 3 MVPs, MV3, as I was kind of saying last night, but you can't be mad about it. Josh Allen put on one heck of a performance this year, and he does deserve it at the end of the day.
I think when you think about, like, moments, you know, like, it comes down to
Mark Andrews dropping the ball.
In my mind, well, that's true. In my mind, Lamar, he's won 2 Super Bowls. You have, not 2 Super Bowls.
Won 2 MVPs.
2 MVPs.
Yeah.
Okay. You have what I think was the best single individual game performance by a player in Josh Allen in that game, that snow game, where he threw a touchdown to himself. He threw and caught, he threw.
Got it lateral back to him.
And got the touchdown that game.
You mean rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown?
Rushing, receiving, and passing.
First ever player to do it.
Touchdown. That game, I think, solidifies it for him. Obviously, getting to into the playoffs and winning the AFC Championship would have been helpful. But I feel fine about it. I personally was rooting for Saquon because
they weren't going to give it to him.
I am so confused.
He was Offensive Player of the Year.
Right, I'm so confused. Then why does that not go to Lamar Jackson then in that case? Like, if it's gonna be, I think there needs to be like a renaming or something of the award.
The MVP is the best quarterback award. That's what it is in the NFL.
I understand.
That's like basically what the Heisman is in college football.
And like that necessarily should not be the case.
Shouldn't.
Right? So like there needs to be some renaming. Like, what is this award? I need to know like the requirements and like what are we really doing here? Because in theory, all these quarterbacks that are winning the MVPs should be winning the Offensive Player of the Year award. Make that make sense to me. I don't know.
Here's one thing I want to talk about. Not that I get what you're saying. I want to touch on the AP Comeback Player of the Year and Mr. Joe Burrow, 2-time winner. You saw his frustration when he got out there yesterday.
Yeah, he was not happy to win that award twice, and I would not be happy to win that award twice.
As my buddy put up on like his Instagram, like hyping it up, I had commented on there. I said, "Dude, you don't want to win that award twice.
Right?
Like, why?"
Yeah, that's not a fun award to win twice. But John just keeps skipping over me. I didn't even get to talk about the MVPs, so I'm going to take it back to the MVPs. I want to explain kind of why I think Lamar Jackson should have won the award. If you look at Josh Allen, he had an amazing season. He had amazing moments, and he had a significantly less talented roster than Lamar Jackson did. But, man, Lamar Jackson, 4,100 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a 77.2 QBR, only second to Josh Allen's 77.3. Josh Allen had 3,700 yards, 28 passing touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. And I know Lamar's rushing stats were insane. The plays we saw Lamar make day in and day out all season long, I got to give it to Lamar, man. I have to.
Yeah, I mean, everything that you just said in accordance to Lamar Jackson, you can say for Josh Allen, too.
Except for 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, and less interceptions.
As far as, like, they're... Oh, okay.
No, I
think it should have been Lamar.
He's putting me on the wagon of MV3.
I just think they picked Josh Allen. I feel like if Mark Andrews caught that 2-point conversion, like, and Baltimore was able to win that game, then I think this MVP would be in Lamar's hands. I just think that's what the voting came down to for those that voted. But in other words, my other question, to stick with the honors, how do y'all feel about this Hall of Fame class that we saw? Antonio Gates, Jared Allen, Sterling Sharp. Who was the other guy?
It was
another Allen. It was like Ray Allen, something like
Eric
that.
Allen.
Eric Allen. Somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not. He was older before my time.
Seeing Sterling Sharp getting
Jared
in
Allen
was cool. I will say it was a loaded Hall of Fame ballot.
It was.
There was a lot of guys that Vinatieri we're looking to see go up there.
I'm almost surprised he wasn't first ballot, just because he's probably the greatest kicker of all time.
Right. So. You really think about it, that dominance.
He was
part of
insane.
so many of those Super Bowl teams. Anyways. But, so there was some surprising, misses on there. But,
it's such a hard selection.
I think that my favorite part was
it's the smallest class
was the
05.
confetti falling down, and the moment everybody stands up, that gives you chills. It literally seems like the ending of a movie, and endings to what great careers all those guys did have. So
I think the one that I'm most excited about is Antonio Gates.
Same here.
I feel like Antonio Gates
sure.
is the most forgotten legend in NFL history.
Chargers legend.
Just one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He most touchdown receptions by a tight end. He was a beast for Phillip Rivers. He was that guy that always you needed to chuck the ball up to somebody, he'd come down with it. Very, very big part of the Chargers teams, and I was very happy to see him, as well as Jared Allen, because who doesn't love Jared Allen? Mm-hmm. But that's enough for the NFL honors. There's one more thing that I think is pretty important. It's a pretty big game going on Sunday.
Just a little bit.
And I'm going to start with you, Jason, because John and I were on Sports Pack last night.
Yes,
we got
sir.
to give our spiel on what we thought was going to go on the Super Bowl. But Jason,
yeah,
who do you have winning this Super Bowl? Is it the three-peat or is it them Philly boys, and why?
Okay. So, last night, Richard Reed on Sports Pack alluded to Schrader's outfit in accordance to who he thought was going to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Now, when I woke up this morning, I thought about this, and I knew we were going to be talking about this. Didn't have much red in my rotation, okay? Didn't have much green in my rotation, to be honest. Okay, don't have much stock for the clothing in my place of living. But also, I need to do laundry. Anyways,
okay,
that's fair. That's fair.
But my Super Bowl, I think it comes down to this. Okay, you have a running back who coming fresh off Offensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. Okay, he has been a unstoppable force no matter who he's been put in front of. Okay? It doesn't matter. The Chiefs, fantastic run defense. Defense wins championships. And Patrick Mahomes is having one of those moments like Tom Brady had for a long time where he had top 10 defenses. The Chiefs have a top 10 defense, in fact. They have a top 10 rush defense. Okay? So.
Do you know?
I do know.
What's the pick?
Who's winning?
Saquon against the best rush defense, okay, in the league, being the Ravens, okay. They had the best rush defense all year. Saquon against them ran for 107 yards and a touchdown in their matchup on December 1st, okay. The best defense, best rush defense in the league. I think Saquon is going to be an unstoppable force. I think he's going to run all over the Chiefs, and I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker.
So you got the Eagles winning?
I have the Eagles winning, and nice. I think that the final score, I think it's going to be a shootout like most people are saying, and oftentimes when people think that, it's going to be a defensive game. But I'm going to go with 32-24.
32-24. John, how do you feel about the Super Bowl? Quick little...
I'm feeling good. I made my pick last night. Eagles, 34-28. I will say I got a little pick here from my buddy. It's his birthday, Jonathan. Happy birthday, buddy. You got Chiefs winning 28-21. I know your heart wants the Eagles, and I'd say go with your heart. But you know what? You want them to win. But honestly, I stuck with what I'm saying. And, heck, I might be going to war with Swifties at one point, but I think I can fight them off.
Yeah. That's funny. I would actually – I'm different. I'm going with the Chiefs, and I think it's going to be – I am different. I'm going with the Chiefs, and I think it's actually going to be a lot different than what people say. I had the Chiefs winning by 2 scores. I had the Chiefs winning 35-21. That's crazy. And I think that it's going to be a Cinderella story for Travis Kelce.
You want Andy Reid and his cheeseburger.
Dude, I just love Andy Reid, man. I mean, he is probably my favorite coach in the NFL, and I'm so glad he is at the head of this dynasty. So, I want Andy Reid to get another Super Bowl. And I will say that...
hey, take a look at the live chat. I'm sorry, we got one more
prediction coming. All right, Joey says... Yeah, I'm not even going to mention that on air. If you want to look at the chat, you can see what Joey's prediction is. But I'm also going to say I wouldn't be mad if Philly won because Zach Bryan did say he would drop another song at midnight if the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So with that,
holy smokes,
I would not be mad for that. But with that. Oh, sorry. You got something, Jason?
Well, no. I'm just saying, the Eagles' defense needs to be respected, too, right? They have the 2021 Georgia Bulldogs greatest college football defense of all time on their squad. And so...
Statistically speaking,
they are the greatest college football defense of all time. Should be respected. They've been in these big games. They won that championship. They've been in these big games. They're going to do it again in the Super Bowl, and they're going to win this game.
Okay. Well, with that said, that is all we have for y'all this week on Triple Threat. We hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Eat some wings. Have fun with the commercials.
You took my line. I was gonna try to sneak in there.
We love us some wings. Just have a great weekend. So we will see y'all next week at 11.